How good is Sombra? Pretty good. Yeah, she's pretty good, but maybe not at what you would expect her to be. Now, I've been playing her quite extensively over the past week since she went live on the PTR, and I wanted to share with you guys some of my thoughts and opinions after this time, and maybe give you some tips on how to play her, or just a better understanding of how she seems to function at the moment. I think a lot of people assume when they see a stealth character that they're going to be a murdering machine, running around, assassinating people, and then going back to safety. And while you do that in some degree, her killing potential really isn't through the roof compared to a lot of other heroes. If you're looking for someone to get and secure a lot of kills, you're much better off playing McCree or Soldier with his buff on the PTR, Genji, or Tracer. These are the offense heroes that are really good at finishing people off. Sombra is more of like a gnat flying behind the enemy team and buzzing in their air every so often, peppering them with damage. Yeah, her gun is decent, and you can definitely do some pretty solid damage, and you can secure kills. However, her gun is her only method of doing so, whereas a lot of those heroes that I mentioned have multiple ways of dealing damage and securing kills. Obviously, Tracer's weapons plus her ultimate are able to secure kills pretty quickly. Genji has his Swift Strike, his ultimate, as well as his weapons. McCree does just have his gun, but his gun is one of the best damage dealers in the game, plus his flashbang allows him to secure kills, immobilizing the enemy. And then Soldier, he's got his gun, his ultimate, and then his Helix rockets. That's the main difference you're going to notice between Sombra and these other heroes, is that they all have either additional damage or ultimates or abilities that allow them to secure kills. Sombra doesn't really have that. So what is Sombra's key role? Well, her ultimate and her ability to hack. And you might tell me, well, Force, isn't her hack almost like McCree's stun in allowing her to secure kills? Not really. It is not nearly as reliable. It can be interrupted. Keep in mind that the hack has a 1-second cast time, and if you take any damage, it resets the cast. So even if you get just interrupted once or twice, that is 2 to 3 seconds of you trying to hack an enemy, not shooting them, and them shooting back at you. Hacking enemies in the middle of a firefight is not really reliable. What's most likely, because it does appear to have, it seems like a 15 to 20 meter range, what's most likely is you will hide and peek behind corners, hack somebody when they're not suspecting you, and then try to go in for a kill. But even in that situation, unless it's a 1 versus 1, you're in the open, you're pretty squishy, and your only way to survive against fire from multiple enemies is to teleport away. At that point, you're not attacking the enemy. Whereas a Tracer, because her blink allows her to stay in the thick of combat and still attack the enemies, she is much better at the job of securing kills. So if Sombra, this character with invisibility, isn't great at securing kills, but rather providing supporting fire, what is her role? Well, I've heard the term opportunist, and I think it's a pretty good one. From my own experience, you are spending time surveying the landscape and deciding when is a smart time to go in. And a lot of times you'll want to go in while invisible, get off a few pop shots, and then teleport away. But besides that, you also appear to spend a lot of time hacking health packs. Now, this has been of the utmost importance for me in solo queue. However, I'm not sure how well that's going to translate into professional games, because professional games and high-level play, the only people who tend to take advantage of health packs in those games are the flankers. So while controlling them helps your team and prevents the enemy team from getting that boost of health if a healer's not nearby, it doesn't seem like it's going to be playing as big of a role in high-level and competitive play. But for a majority of you out there, people who solo queue or queue in groups of 2 to 3, health pack control is probably still very important in your games because you're not a full group and healers are less reliable. So controlling health packs is a big deal, and Sombra, it's more amazing than you probably think. Number one, you can control multiple health packs at a time, so this allows your team exclusive access to it. They recharge much faster, and any hacked health packs that get picked up by you or your team charge your ultimate. I mean, it is amazing. And the recharge time is insane. So much so that you can literally, in a firefight, just stand on top of a health pack and you will be getting healed more than a lot of enemies can deal damage to you. In fact, I read somewhere in a thread, I haven't tested this, but I read that if you have a hacked large health pack and you're fighting a Winston, he literally cannot kill you because the health pack respawns faster than he can damage you, accounting for him having to reload when he runs out of ammo. I mean, that's insane. Just to give give you an idea of how insanely fast hacked health packs will respawn for your team. It's amazing. So yeah, I found that we were spending a lot of time trying to hack key health packs and using that to our advantage. Going in, taking pop shots, and opportunist, again, that's the phrase that's come up quite a bit with her, and her passive really comes into play here. Her passive allows you to see anyone on the enemy team who's below 50% health through walls. It's like you have the Widowmaker ultimate up for anyone under 50% health. And the fact that her camo gives her a move speed increase, I countless times have been able to pick off 200 health enemies by just spotting them through walls, going invisible, running up to them, and then just finishing them off out of stealth in just a matter of a second or two. Again, her gun isn't bad, but it's gonna be hard to win a lot of 1v1s with Sombra because, again, her kill securing potential isn't great, but her ability to finish somebody off who's already low is fantastic. Your weapon fires at a relatively solid speed, and it has some pretty decent damage. So running around, hacking health packs, picking off enemies, this is where Sombra appears to shine. Now her ultimate. This is the biggest thing with her. This is what everyone was freaking out about when she was first revealed. And there is no doubt that this ultimate is amazing, and it's going to be meta shifting. But I can tell you from my own games on the PTR, it's felt almost worthless. And that's not to discredit how strong of an ability it is, hacking all enemies that are caught within it and then disabling shields and barriers. That is without question one of the best ultimates in the game, if it's followed up with something. And this is the key here. If you're not playing with an organized team or a team that knows to capitalize on that, it's basically worthless because the hack only lasts a few seconds and the barriers recharge after a little while. So if your team's not paying attention or you don't coordinate with them, you could go up against the entire enemy team, pop your ultimate, and then nothing comes of it because your team doesn't engage. In many ways, this feels very similar to how we felt with Ana when she was first released. People actually didn't think much of her. They knew her kit was strong just by looking at it, but those first few weeks to, I believe, at least about a month, she didn't seem to get a ton of play. It wasn't until people started to figure out how Ana functioned and how the team can capitalize on her strengths, and people started to really learn how to play her, that she became super strong. I feel like it's going to be a similar situation with our new hero Sombra. At first, people are going to try her out and be like, she doesn't feel like she's doing much. She's spending half her time hacking health packs. Hacking enemies is difficult because if she gets shot, it gets reset. And that's really, please trust me on this from my own experience. There's obviously going to be ways to do it. Take advantage of the distance that the hack has. You can do it from fairly far away. But against a team with half a brain, unless you're just fighting one enemy, hacking enemies isn't the easiest thing to do. Any damage you take completely resets the hack. And even though it's only 1 second, once more, 2 to 3 seconds of you trying to hack someone while not shooting them, because you can't do both at the same time, and them shooting you will probably result in a dead Sombra. So yes, her EMP is amazing, but it needs to be done in a coordinated group. So it's going to be a baller ability and match winning, team fight winning at high level play where people are coordinated. At the majority, the average play and below, it's going to be kind of worthless because people just don't work together. So again, it's similar to the Ana situation. But without a doubt, as I said at the beginning of this video, she's pretty good. Like, she's a lot of fun to play. It's an interesting new play style. I love the interactions, like the fact that you can teleport while stealth and still remain in stealth. You can take advantage of that. You can throw your teleporter while in stealth without breaking stealth. So there's a lot of fun nuance to the hero that I've been learning over this past week, and she's definitely enjoyable to play, but you have to be on your game. Trying to balance hacking health packs and attacking enemies to actually be helpful to your team is important. Trying to figure out ideal opportunities to hack enemies where you won't just be getting shot and basically being worthless for that time instead of just shooting. And that's the other thing I realized. A lot of times, if I can hack an enemy, I might as well just shoot them so I could kill them faster instead of spending these 2 to 3 seconds, a couple of failed hack attempts until it succeeds, and then not doing damage in that period. Why not spend those 2 to 3 seconds just shooting them in the face and then getting them to 50% health, you know what I mean? So it's a balance, it's a learning period. It's gonna take time for people to really figure her out, but she is definitely pretty good, as our pal Crip would say. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you've had the chance to play her on the PTR, do you agree at all with my assessment? If you disagree, I'd love to hear what you think. Don't just call me stupid. Tell me what you think, okay? All right, thank you all guys so much. Hope you have a good afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later.